the original teachings of the Christ in chronological order, something you don't get anywhere else, something people don't even think about anywhere else. Number one, the original teachings of the Christ, and number two, those teachings in chronological order so you can follow the pattern of what the Christ was trying to teach and the understanding of what the Christ was trying to convey. We do things differently here. We do it old-fashioned. We do it the right way. And that's exactly what we're here to do. That's exactly what we're here to bring. Everyone's great now. And nice to have you here for the teachings, the original teachings of the Christ in chronological order, and a little bit of coffee. I appreciate you being here. Happy Saturday to you all. As people file into the chat room, it's great to have you here, and it's great to be here myself. Of course, we have consolidated the date of the What to Do When You're Dead, Perspectives on Death and Navigating the Afterlife seminar. That will be on December the 10th, live here in Clearwater, Florida. We'll have a morning session and an afternoon session, and it's $25 per person, limited to 100. And we've already got probably 12 or 15 RSVPs. So once we get up to 100, I'll have to start saying, okay, those that pay first have a place locked in. So we've got the What to Do When You're Dead seminar coming up in Clearwater, Florida. Hello, North Carolina. Coming up in Clearwater, Florida on December the 10th. That's a Sunday. And we'll have a luncheon. We'll have a guided meditation. Hopefully with kava, not sure. That's a little bit of a gray area for the rules here of the clubhouse, but we will have a guided meditation. We will have a morning session and an afternoon session. We will have a luncheon, and we will have a great freaking time. We're expecting Heidi Vandenberg to be there. We're expecting myself to be there. Good morning in Atlanta, Georgia. And that's a great thing that we're going to be doing December the 10th of this year. So mark it on your calendar. If you can make it to Clearwater, Florida, it'll be something that will definitely behoove you. And I'm very excited to make another announcement. I've added a new product to the NCK, to my store. And I just want to share it with you because I'm very excited about it. And I think it's going to be powerful. I think it's going to make a change in a lot of people's lives. I think it's going to make a lot of people's lives better. I really do. I really do. And here's what it is. Let me share this with you right now. I've just put this into the store, and I have to give my son, Joshua Allen Darty, credit for helping me come up with this. What we're going to do is offer NCK, which is New Cosmic Knowledge, that's us, intention candles, handcrafted by me, Jeffrey Darty, the Christian Whistleblower. And here's the idea. Do you want to release your intention with greater power? Well, just tell me what your intention is. I'm going to get in great shape. I'm going to grow spiritually. I'm going to overcome X addiction. I'm going to do this or do that. Whatever your intention is, send me your intention, and I will personally create a sigil for you, and I will hand draw it with some beautiful metallic ink on a 2 by 4 inch ivory pillar candle. And as the candle burns, your intention is released. Here is an example. So that's what we're doing. NCK intention candles, handcrafted by me, Jeffrey Darty, the Christian Whistleblower. If you want to release your intention with even greater power, tell me your intention, write it out on a paper. I will turn that intention into a sigil, and I will hand draw. I might even carve it in and then draw it. Depends upon how the ink takes, but these are permanent markers. I could hand draw it on the candle, and it'll be nice and apparent. And as your candle burns, that intention is released. I'm going to step this up. We'll begin to do, if it works and people like it, I'll begin to do intention candles with particular colors to augment that intention, and even particular aromas to augment that intention. And if it is successful, I may even begin to make my own candles. These I am purchasing, to be completely frank with you, but I am doing the sigil myself. I am applying the sigil myself, and it's a real nice 2x4-inch candle. They say it's about a 12-hour burn. So very, very nice, a very, very great way to release your intention as the candle burns. And just to give you an idea of what a sigil looks like, these are some of the sigils, and this is personal, but you don't know what they are. These are some of the sigils I've created that are kind of sigils that go with my life. So this gives you an idea of, something about what you'd have on the candle. Each one of these is a statement of intention, and it's a sigil that'll go on the candle. And as the candle burns, it will release that sigil. So there you go. Those are available in the store right now. Brand new NCK intention candles. And those will be shipped to you. The price is, the shipping is included in the price. And please note that they can only be shipped to United States of America addresses. The Catholics are the Catholics. The cost of shipping is too prohibitive. Too prohibitive to send them anywhere else. Hello, Sterling in Japan. Nice to see you again. Catholics make very nice candles if that's what you're into. I sense a little bit of cynicism. That's okay, Faith Walker. You can be cynical because not everybody's ready for this high level of technology. Not everybody's ready to take it to the next level. Not everybody's ready to step outside of ignorance and step outside of superstition and leverage spiritual technologies that just flat work. Oh no, there's 33 watching. Well, there was there for a second. And we all know that it must be the Illuminati. But anyway, folks, I think those are going to be powerful. I think those are going to make a big difference in your life. I'm probably going to make a set for 7 days, State College, PA, for an intention for every day of the week that you can burn too. Send me pictures of your palm to christianwhistleblower.com, both palms, front and back if you can. I do the readings on a donation basis. If you include a donation, I'll do a big, long, full reading. If you don't include a donation, as soon as I get done with the ones that have included a donation, I'll do a mini reading for you, and you can decide if you want to go on from there. But even the mini reading is very, very helpful. So we're looking at the original teachings of the Christ. We're looking at them in alphabetical order. And that brings us right now to the book of Mark, chapter 12. And the session just before this was powerful in that we saw that we're really called to replace the rat bastard. And I haven't forgotten about that. And those of you that are new, I need to stop and take a second. I'm sorry. Those of you that are new, I do appreciate you being here. I salute you for seeking after truth. And you are our guests, and I hope that you will come back. I hope that you'll like and share while you're here. And those of you that have been watching, I, of course, truly appreciate you and appreciate you subscribing and making sure you're still subscribed. And if you would, just meditatively ask if you should support this work financially, sponsorship. If you want to, you can hit the $ right below, which will allow you to give sponsorship directly through the super chat, and it happens right now. Or you can go to my website, which I've just posted, and sponsor through PayPal, and you don't even have to have a PayPal account in order to do that. But as we move into our teaching, let's take a look at the book of Mark. And some of you say, oh, well, I know this one is not very exciting, but stay tuned because there's stuff here that you don't know. There's stuff here that you don't understand, and we're going to make something new and real to you here. They came to the Christ. The rat bastard is the Lord, Yahweh, Jehovah. He that shall not be named, but he has to be named every now and then because there's so many new people watching. So they came to him of the Pharisees and the Herodians. I believe this is proof positive that the self-appointed Apostle Paul, when he was still Saul of Tarsus, was one of them. Because Saul is the only one that we know of talked about in the Bible specifically that was a Pharisee and a Herodian. So this is probably Paul being a little smartass. It's the weekend. We got weekend language. But anyway, they came to him and they said to him, Master, and of course their lips and tongues were dripping with sarcasm. We know that you're true. We know you don't care what any man thinks. We know that you don't regard the person of men, but you only teach the way of the Elohim in truth. So this is all very sarcastic. And I get it, because I get this, I'm not to compare myself with the Christ, but, people say, oh, you're such a great teacher. We know you're true. You don't care what people think. You're not worried about men. You're just teaching the truth the way it is. And sometimes people say that sincerely, and I really appreciate it. But a lot of time it's with the greatest of sarcasm. And I think this is the case here, especially since it was probably Saul of Tarsus mouthing these words. So this would make it the third time in the scripture that Saul met the Christ and actually squared off with him. So he says, listen, is it lawful to give tribute to Caesar or not? Shall we give or shall we not? And just so you understand in verse 14 what tribute is, so we can make sure that we put this within context, because a text without a context is a pretext. So what he says, is it lawful to give tribute? What is tribute? Tribute are the taxes. Is it lawful to pay your taxes? Is it lawful for us to pay taxes? Should we pay our taxes or should we not pay our taxes? And of course, they were trying to trip him up. They were trying to trip up the Christ. They were trying to get him to say something that they could bring the Romans down upon him. But Christ, knowing that they were being hypocritical, knowing that this was sarcasm, knowing that their answer wasn't real, said to them, why are you tempting me? Bring me a denarius, actually is what it says, that I can look at it. Somebody tossed him a denarius. He caught it. Am I showing this? Am I sharing this? I am sharing this. So let's go back to the sharing. Sorry about that. Just had a brain cramp there. Wanted to make sure I was sharing this with you. And now all I got to do is find it again. Isn't this wonderful? There we go. And trust me, I'll get there. I'll get there. Sorry about that. It's not as easy as it looks. If you've ever tried this at home, you know. Okay, so. And you got it full screen, as big as it can be. So they tossed him a denarius. He caught it. And he read it. He says, hey, who's writing this on there? And they say, well, it's Caesar's writing. And the Christ said, give to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. Give to the Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and give to the gods the things that are the gods. So what's he saying here? He's saying, look, you live in a country where if you don't pay your taxes, they're going to kill you. So give to Caesar, give to the king the things that belong to the king. But give to the gods the things that are the gods. So yes, pay your taxes, but don't give your complete allegiance and mindset to the kings. And I believe this was Saul of Tarsus asking him this question for a very big reason. So we live in a country, let's just cover this right now. We live in a country, at least here in the United States, and I think most of you as well, because our taxation in the U.S. is actually a lot lower than most places. In the United States, you cannot pay your taxes, but guess what? They're going to come and take your stuff and put you in jail. So the Christ is saying, listen, follow the law, pay your taxes, do what the king tells you to do. But remember, your ultimate loyalty is to the gods. And if the ways of the gods should differ with the ways of the king, then you would have a decision to make. And I believe Christ was speaking specifically to Saul of Tarsus here. And let me show you why. Because if you go to Romans 13, Here's Saul, who was the Herodian and Pharisee, I believe, that asked the Christ these questions. And Saul says, let everybody be subject to the higher powers. Now think about this, because if things get bad in the U.S., your preacher, your pastor, your priest is coming after you, and he's going to put the cops on you in a quick minute. Your priest will put the police on you in a quick minute. Your pastor will put the police on you in a quick minute, because they believe what the false apostle Paul taught, that there's no power but of God, the powers that be are ordained of God. So Paul's teaching here that even a wicked, bad government is ordained by God. This is why the Catholic Church was supporting the Nazi regime. Whosoever resisteth the power resists the ordinance of God. So if you've got a wicked government, Paul says, and you resist them, then you're resisting God. And if you resist the government that is violating the ways of the Elohim, then you yourself get damnation. This is what Paul said. If you've got a wicked government, you've got to obey them anyway, because they're from the Lord. And if you don't, the Lord's going to throw you into the lake of fire. Where the Christ said, listen, give to Caesar those things that are Caesar's, but reserve to the gods those things that are the gods. So the Christ would say, listen, give to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, but if they become unjust, then give to the gods the things that are the gods. But Paul doubled down. He said, listen, rulers are not a terror to those that do good works, but only to the evil. They are the ministers of God to you for good. They are the ministers of God to execute wrath upon those that do evil. And he said they don't carry the sword in vain. So Paul said very clearly, it doesn't matter how bad, how wicked, how anti-gods the rulers become, you must, as a Christian, follow the leading of the rulers. This is why the Catholic Church marched along with the Nazis. This is why the Islamic powers march along with the Islamic radical terrorists. This is why Jewish government and Jewish people have marched along with Jewish government when it was committing terrorism, very similar to that of ISIS. And this is why many people in this country would do the same thing if we decided to be a Christian army. Paul says no matter what, you've got to obey the authorities because the Lord put them in charge. And if you don't, the Lord's going to throw you in the lake of fire. And on the way, they're going to beat you up, put you in jail, maybe even kill you. But you have to do it. He says, render tribute to who tribute is due, custom to who custom is due, fear to whom fear, honor and to whom honor. He takes the Christ and the gods completely out of the situation and takes all of what you would give to the gods and puts it completely on Caesar. Look at that. The Christ said, oh, look at those great candles. Dude, those are spiffy. Sorry. The Christ said, render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, but render to the gods the things that are the gods. And Paul said, look, it all goes to Caesar. All of the custom, which is the tax, all of the fear, all of the honor goes to whom? Goes to the people that God, in this case, he's talking about the Lord, put in place. So you've got a very, very different, and this is just one of those things that made me say, you know what, I got to get out of this, because here's Paul, Christianity, teaching one thing, and here's the Christ teaching something that is the diametric opposite. So you have the right to believe Paul if you wish, but I'm telling you folks, if things ever really go south in this country, your priests, your pastors will be turning you into the police that quick, because guess what? They'll lose their tax exempt status. They'll lose the money that they're being given additionally to be on clergy, clergy teams that work between the people and the government. Get out of these churches now while you still can. Stop being a hypocrite. Stop supporting the people that are molesting children every day, as much as 5 to 10% of the priests. Get out of the Catholic Church or you're a hypocrite. Get out of the Protestant church or you're a hypocrite, because they're doing human sacrifice every day. They're asking you to eat cannibalistic rituals. And I'm telling you, folks, the day is coming when the pastors and the priests will turn you into the police in a hot minute. Paul tells us right here it's going to happen. So you can follow Paul's way if you wish. It's up to you. Or you can follow the way of the Christ. Give the things to Caesar that are Caesar's, but give the things that are the gods to the gods and to the gods only. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is my rant and my teaching for today. And we will go ahead right now and go into the chat room. If you have to leave us, I understand. But since you do me the honor of listening to me, I will do you the honor of looking at your comments and addressing them, as many as I can. As it grows, I don't know if I'll be able to continue to do so. Nearly 3 million viewer minutes this month. Amazing stuff. Actually, in the last 28 days. So, top of the morning. Good to have you here, all the way from Japan. Nigel, which he's either in China or Australia. I'm not sure which one. We must pay taxes. And yeah, there's only two things, death and taxes, right? Taxes should be illegal. Yes, they should. Same thing, though. If you don't pay your taxes, they will come take your stuff and put you in jail. The legal and lawful and aberration of the church and state has so many confused. I agree, 100%, Lee Veltman. And if the church people really believed in separation of church and state, they would give up their 501c3 exemptions, because it is subsidy from the state, and what the state subsidizes, it will eventually control. So if you really believe in the separation of church and state, give up your 501c3, stop being a hypocrite. And government, if you really believe in separation of church and state, stop the 501c3 for religious organizations, stop being hypocritical. Let Joel Osteen and all the rest of them pay their fair share and redirect those funds into someplace other than Joel's newest luxury car. It makes me sick, but I don't want to go on that. And Veltman talks about the 501c3, just like I did. Pay up or we'll kill you. That's the way it goes. Smiles are not required today, only change. I'm tired of arguing with people who think they're tax wage slaves. Anyway, are we stupid enough to call them elite? Oh, there's a nice play on words. Israelites, elites in there. That's very interesting. Very interesting. From Jeff's teachings, I see he was a key player in religion and control. Speaking of Paul, absolutely. Think we might need some candles. Yep, those candles are awesome. Keep those cardinals and blue avians happy. Absolutely. That's a good point. Red cardinals in the Catholic Church. The Mormons have a pink room under Salt Lake Temple. You know, this is called blatant conjecture. I appreciate you, Sterling, but we don't know. But it's interesting, and we welcome your opinions. Jeff, thoughts on someone becoming ordained the cheap and easy way? I don't know what you mean. Australia, Nigel. Little blue bird on my shoulder. That's hilarious. As Panella and Jeff said, the body cannot be redeemed with blood sacrifices because it was condemned with corruption the moment it was made by the rat bastard. Absolutely. Was Mark written by Mark? Don't know. Don't matter, really. Probably, but again, doesn't really matter that much, at least to me, because it's the information that has been dispersed over these 2,000 years. I don't really have a good book to recommend about sigils, except for, it's called Modern Magic. I think it's a good book. It has the endorsement of Lon Milo Duquette, who's one of the foremost hermeticists in the country today. I happen to spend some time with him personally, so I like to recommend people that I know. But that book by Modern Magic, it's called Modern Magic. It's not written by Lon Milo Duquette, but he has a foreword on it. And that'll give you some good information on sigils. Going back again to the candles that we're making with intention sigils that will release your intention as you burn the candle. Thank you, Sterling. I appreciate it. I say you're the man. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Two very distinct and separate views on taxation. the Christ saying, yeah, pay your taxes, but your sovereignty is only for the gods. And Paul saying, forget the gods. The rat bastard, the Lord, Yahweh, Jehovah, he put these people in charge and you have to obey them. Or if not, they'll beat you, jail you, kill you. And then the Lord will throw you in the lake of fire for daring to resist them. Gives you good reasons why the Catholic Church marched alongside the Nazi armies. You can, I mean, there's pictures out there of Catholic priests giving the Sieg Heil to Adolf Hitler. In fact, just for fun and games, Catholic priest saluting Hitler. Hitler. Pictures of Catholic priests saluting Hitler. Oh, this is a nice one. This is so nice. I can see why you guys want to stay Catholics. I can see why you'd want to be Catholics. Who would want to leave such a nice set of guys as these guys right here, huh? Look at that. Sieg Heil. Sieg Heil. Nothing like a good Catholic giving a good Sieg Heil to the Nazis. Ain't nothing like it. How about that? Isn't that beautiful stuff? Isn't that wonderful? Doesn't it just warm your heart to see this? Look at that. Sieg Heil. Sieg Heil. Yeah, they just love it. So we won't belabor that, but there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's the religion of Paul, the Antichrist, showing you exactly, did the Queen do it? Let's see. Queen of England saluting Hitler. England saluting Hitler. Let's see. I don't know if we have an actual picture of the Queen saluting Hitler. I would be interested to see that. Now, I know they say that these are her as a girl, but, you know, that's speculative. We try to stay on the non-speculative here. But anyway, there you go. Oh, look, John Travolta doing the Sieg Heil. Of course, I jest. But anyway, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We can't find any real pictures of the Queen Sieg Heiling. But the rods were just delivered. Beautiful. Bill got his rods. Let us know, Bill, about those rods, how you like them. Give sovereignty to the gods. Vatican Nazi relationship. Reptilian queen posted in all Catholic churches. Yep. The rat bastard's like a first-class bigot on the Titanic. Absolutely. And in honor of Bill getting his rods, let's go ahead and open this up for some rod questions right here, right now. Because I'm completely caught up on rod orders as of this moment. And today I'm going to make 5 sets of pendulums, and we're going to release those pendulums for sale as well. So here are the rods. And we are, thank you, send me that photo, Sterling. I'd appreciate it. I'd love to see it. You know, I'm talking with my son about making some cards, but I don't want to make something just to make it. I want it to be a true oracle deck, a true helpful deck. We're in the thought process on that, but I don't want to throw something out just to throw something out. Everything I put out, whether it be the rods or whether it be the candles or the pendulums, they are all real, true, workable things. Will there be a blackout today? Will there be a blackout today? No, there won't. I think it's just hype. I know that a lot of people say bad things. It's coming. I'm in the minority, but I have an optimistic outlook. I don't expect anything bad to happen on a widespread basis today. And I expect really the next 12 months to be optimistically improving rather than being terrible. Lee Veltman didn't ask it, but we'll ask it. Will there be an EMP or a CME today? No, there will not. Relax, folks. Take it easy. Be vigilant. Watch. I would encourage you to watch as you go throughout your life. Just be mindful of your surroundings. Don't be a victim, but don't be a person that is walking around in fear. Don't be a person that's walking around in fear. Are there any more questions for the rods? That's certainly a satanic gesture right there. How about this? Take me to your leader. Anyway, sorry about that. We get a little silly around here every now and then, and that's okay. December 10th, What to Do When You're Dead. Great extravaganza right here live in Clearwater, Florida. Sunday, December 10th. Looks like Heidi Vandenberg will be here as well. So we may even have some bonus coverage on some bonus subjects. We're still working that chaos of purging the rat bastard. I am still going to do it, whether I get any help or not. I think it's going to be very powerful. And I think it's not only done, it makes sense, but I think it's our calling. If you look at the totality of the scriptures, look at the teachings of the Christ before this about the parable of the wicked tenant. I'll try to link it in the box below. Hi, Sarah Starter. Any more questions for the rods? But anyway, the rods are actually, I'm caught up. So if you want to get your rods, they'll be going out within almost the day of the order, certainly the next day. So rods will be there. And if you got your rods, the first thing you want to do is you want to just go to them and say, show me yes. For me, it's crossing. And you want to say, show me no. For me, it's going out. So that way you'll know what's going on. You can do things like, where is the lamp? And they will point to the lamp. Where is the salt lamp? And they will point to the salt lamp. Where is the cat? The cat is right over there. They'll point to where the cat is. Where's my keys? They will show you how to find your keys. But the main thing is that these are not to be fortune telling. This is not something that you'll want to do to get your answers. Should I go to the bathroom right now or not? See, they're probably not going to respond to stuff like that. You want to have an idea already, and you want to use these rods for confirmation. Bill said that he just asked yes and no 3 times, and they showed him. Great. That's what they're for. These are for confirmation. These are not for leading your life. Remember, folks, at the end of the day, these are copper rods. Do you really want to live your life according to what copper rods say? But it's a nice way to have a confirmation. Will Heidi Vandenberg be at the December 10th event? Yes, I'm believing she will. Will we have a great time at the December 10th event? Yes, we will. Will there be a riot at the December 10th event? No, there won't. Will a good time be had by all at the December 10th event? Yes, it will. Is $25 too low a price for the event? Yeah, but we're not going to change it anyway. $25 per person. That includes your luncheon. That includes the guided meditation. And that includes the presentation on death and the afterlife navigation. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Original teachings of the Christ about taxation and about the government, showing that Paul teaches one thing, and you can believe that if you like. The Christ teaches another thing, and you can believe that if you like. Other than me, Lee, I don't know. I haven't been contacted by any Hermetic folks that are going to be there, but they're certainly welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, in-laws, outlaws, friends, enemies, come on down to Clearwater, Florida. We've got room for about 100 people. Remember, the intention candles are now being released. It's just a one-day event, but there are several motels near the event. I'm going to investigate and see if we can do live streaming. There's no Wi-Fi in the building. I'm seeing if I can use the handy dandy iPhone to do it. If not, we'll record it and release it afterwards. I'm not Golden Dawn. I don't belong to any of them, but I would be interested in looking at some of that type of a thing. I don't know that Wayne will be here. He lives out in Denver, so he hasn't said anything about being here, but he's certainly welcome, and that would be fun. The only person I know for sure that will be coming is Heidi Vandenberg, so she'll be here with all of her Vedic knowledge and wisdom, and she'll be giving some sort of a presentation. I want to give her some time as she comes down, and I think we have something very interesting to present together as well. And no word on whether Lee Veltman will be here or not either, ladies and gentlemen. Very good to have you here today. The start time on that day is probably going to be 11. We'll probably start at 11 and go till 12:30, 1 o'clock, have a break, and then come back and have another session in the evening. That way people can get out and get back to the airport or drive home, whatever they're going to do. So we'll start at 11 on the 10th. That's the official kickoff. And we got some great surprises in store for you, including carrot dogs. Yes, I said carrot dogs. If you never had one, boy, are you going to be surprised. A delicacy. Going to be some really, really good stuff. And we look forward to having you there. I would discourage you coming from overseas. I mean, Davey was almost dead set to come. Like, Davey, it's a one-day event, bro. You don't really want to come from Scotland for this. We'll have some longer events. Hopefully this one will work out, be a home run, and we'll do some longer events. And people have mentioned, hey, can you go to others, take it on the road? We will do that as well. We will take it on the road. And I'll be glad to take it on the road. We do have the facilities with the RV, and I'd be glad to take it on the road to other places. So if you can put 20, 30 people together somewhere, let me know, and we can certainly do that. And see, that's, I've got your doing the Sieg Heil, but I'm not convinced that's really the Queen. I'll just be honest with you. I'm not convinced that's really the Queen, because that's, she's, that's very, very young, and they say that's her, and, it might be her. And I'm not saying it's not her. I'm just saying I'm not comfortable with saying, yes, this is the Queen. But thank you for sending that, Sterling. It's certainly, I'm going to look at it, and it's certainly something that's interesting and worth looking into. Alabama would love to have you. Come to Osaka. I love to come to Osaka. Cruise. Where's it going to be? It's going to be right here in Clearwater, Florida, in the community I live in. We got a real nice clubhouse, tables, chairs. It'll hold up probably 100 people. There's even a pool table, but no playing pool while I'm trying to talk. There's a kitchen in there, so we can have our lunch. We can have some great fun, some great fellowship, and I think it's going to be a really good time. So that's December 10th. Starting at 11 a.m. What to do when you're dead. Tom Cruise might be in town, but I doubt he's going to come by, although we would welcome him to do so. I'm serious. Put together, go on Meetup. If you can put together 25 people confirmed to be there, I'll come. Let me know. Let's make it happen. Let's rock and roll. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, your friendly neighborhood Christian whistleblower. Everything I do is to get you to guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, and be your own guru. I salute you for being here seeking after truth. And until we see you again, I encourage you to stay fearless, my friends, and unindoctrinate yourself.